Where is your ideal home? Is it a tunnel on Mars? Aw yeah, just kick up your feet and hide from the radiation. Well, before you move the couch, someone's got to explore those tunnels. But with robotics, why should it be humans?
Wait, did you hear that?
What is that sound?
Get back!
Instead, researchers at New Mexico Tech have proposed a biomimicry-inspired system to explore Mars' vast underground lava tubes. Mars's lava tunnels have remained largely uncharted despite stretching for hundreds of miles and reaching immense widths. The concept centers on a spherical pill-bug-inspired robot that is deployed into a lava tube and releases thousands of tiny Dandelion-like drones. Designed with a white exterior for improved thermal performance, the drones transmit their data via radio, helping build detailed maps of these hidden Martian landscapes. Once dispersed, these lightweight drones ride Martian winds through the tunnels, mapping terrain and collecting environmental data. These lava tunnels are especially interesting because they could serve as future human habitats, offering natural protection from radiation and extreme surface conditions. Yikes. I like it here on Earth. And if you like reliable components, there's no better place to find them than Mouser Electronics. Banner Engineering Q20-2 polarized retroreflective sensors deliver reliable, high-performance sensing. Designed with precise optical to mechanical alignment for consistent installation, they are ideal for tight spaces. They feature a compact, rugged sealed housing, standard mounting, and user-friendly controls like a gain potentiometer, LODO switch, and bright LEDs. Ideal for detecting dark or shiny targets, Banner Engineering Q20-2 polarized retroreflective sensors support industrial automation and robotics applications. Check them out today by visiting Mouser.com or by clicking the link below. Understanding on-off versus analog signals is essential in control automation because it directly impacts system design, programming, and performance. To explain, we present David's Corner.
Thanks, Andy. When we're measuring the position of cylinders, there's a few different ways we can accomplish that, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the difference between analog and digital or discrete measurements. It's a topic that comes up quite often. When measuring a cylinder's position, what we want to know is most often when the cylinder is fully extended and when the cylinder is fully retracted. Now to do this, we can use either these digital or discrete measurements, which means one sensor at the back and one sensor in the front. When the cylinder is extended, one of the sensors will trip. When the cylinder is retracted, the other sensor will trip. These are great, they're very effective and low cost, but sometimes we can also use these analog sensors. Now what analog means is that there's not just two positions at the front and back, but the entire span as it's extending can be measured all the time. This is nice because if there's a problem, let's say that the cylinder is damaged and it runs into something and stops halfway. In this case, the two sensors wouldn't be tripped, but in the case of a long analog position sensor, we can tell exactly where it stops and sometimes even identify the fault because of that. If we want to do precise control, like PID control for proportional, integral, or derivative control in these cylinders, we have to be able to effectively measure the position at any point along the cylinder's extension. There's all kinds of different sensors that accomplish this, but they're all called position sensors, and usually, for these cylinders, linear position sensors. It's a fascinating discussion with all kinds of different control theories and protocols around it, but the ability to measure the position of a device along a stroke of a pneumatic or hydraulic cylinder is a really common practice. Andy, back to you.
Thank you, David. All right, it's time to adjust your knowledge gains in our SmartBit quiz with our 3 control automation questions. The questions are scored using actuator output percentage, and today we'll be testing your knowledge on industrial IoT. Let's begin with our first question worth 25%. In a high-speed motion control system, why is edge computing preferred over cloud processing? Is it A, cloud has unlimited compute resources, or B, edge reduces latency for real-time decisions? And the answer is B. Edge reduces latency for real-time decisions. Motion control requires millisecond-level response. Edge computing processes data locally, avoiding network delays inherent in cloud communication. Okay, let's go on to our next question worth 25%. Which protocol is most commonly used for lightweight IoT telemetry and constrained devices? Is it A, MQTT, or B, FTP? And the answer is A, MQTT. MQTT is optimized for low bandwidth, high latency, and unreliable networks using a publish-subscribe model. Okay, let's move on to our final question worth 50%. Why is Ethernet alone not sufficient for hard, real-time industrial control? Is it A, it lacks deterministic timing guarantees, or B, it cannot support IP addressing? And the answer is A, it lacks deterministic timing guarantees. Time-sensitive applications require extensions like TSN or time-sensitive networking. Want to try again? Just click the link on your screen and be sure to check out our other Automator's Edge videos for the latest in control automation.